Tracy here. I just thought I'd share with you an art journal page that I created. A few of my friends, we love to art journal, and a few of them are actually new to it, so they started up a little Facebook group just for a few of us, and we put on challenges for each other. And this challenge was put on by Denise, and she wanted a black background and space. And I noticed a lot of the ladies did space is in outer space and the planets and that, and their pages turned out cool. Actually, I'll ask them if they'll let me post on the video, and maybe I can share with you what they came up with these challenges. Also, the inspiration for this was actually from a phone case. Pretty sure this is a phone case, and here it is. I just love the intensity of the flowers, and I love all the spackling in the background. So I'm pretty sure this is a phone case, and that's where I got the inspiration to do the black and all the speckles on the white, and then the pop of color on the background. And this one here, I came up, well, I did the black background, and then what I used for space was the word. So I wrote, "We all need space to grow." I just thought of that one night laying in bed, where all my ideas come from. So the background I did with the Delusions paint, and I just put it on a sponge, and I just sponged the whole thing, and it went quick, very quick, and it dried really quickly as well. And the background is all the white Delusions paints. I added a little bit of water to water it down. And I did a few things. First, I did the speckling technique where you take your brush and you just flick it. So I flicked that all over. Then I wanted a little bit bigger ones, so then I added these bigger ones are the back of the paintbrush, the handle of the paintbrush. And I also did a little bit of stippling here and there. And I even dry brushed, if you see these dragging spots, which I really like the dragging spots, those were done with a dry brush. I had a dry brush of white paint on there and dry brushed that. So that's how I did the background. And then the flowers were done. It was a penny black stamp, and I stamped them on cardstock, and then I colored them with my Copic markers, fussy cut them out, and then I adhered them down with some medium, matte medium. And this one here, I wanted these to be kind of like a mirror image to each other, but I couldn't figure out how to flip it on my photocopier computer. So what I did, as you see, they're the exact same, turned the same way, the same image, but after I stamped it, after I stamped it and fussy cut it, I cut the stem off, so I just turned the stem and colored it. And then this here is the actual stamp. So it's the same as this, but the stem is turned a bit, so it looks like it's growing differently. And then these smaller ones here, I actually just, I think I used this one here. Or maybe I did one of both. Yeah, this one is this one, and this one is this one. And what I did was I just shrunk it to, did I do 60%? I might have done a 60 or a 75%. I shrunk it. They were already colored in that, and I shrunk it. And then this one here, if you look really closely, I cut this part off, and I turned it the other way because I wanted the stem to be facing that way. And then if, depending on where I cut the stems, they look longer than others or shorter. And then I used the word space, so I wrote, "We all need space to grow." I just came up with that one night laying in bed, where all my ideas come from. So there is my art journal page. I think I've explained most everything on here. So thank you everybody for watching. I have a process video if you want to watch the process video right after this. But if you don't want to watch the process video, then thank you so much for watching this far, and I hope you all have a very creative day today. Hi everyone, Tracy here. I'm going to do a very quick pieced up process video on this because I'm not doing this at my desk. I'm having some friends over. Today is International Scrapbooking Day, so I'm going to be working on this, so I won't be videotaping, but I thought I'd come in my room and sneak in here every once in a while and just do a little bit. So what I did last night was I just colored the background. And I have black gesso. I've used black gesso before, but I wanted to try and do the background with the Delusions paint, and this is in black marble. And I like how it turned out. I was inspired by a couple things. One, I'm in a challenge, and the challenge is to use a black background and space. So however you interpret using space is the challenge. So what I did was, my inspiration was actually, I think it was a cell phone case. And what I'm going to do is I colored all of these poppies They are from Penny Black. I'm pretty sure they're poppies. I don't know my flowers too well, but it was this one. These two are the same. And then, so this is the actual stamp. You get this one in the stamp set, this bud in the stamp set, and then you get this little one in this pod in the stamp set. So you get these three in the stamp set. And then I cut this one, but I wanted it because they all kind of go to the right, and I wanted some of them to go to the left. So I cut the head off, and then I just colored the background of this one. So it'll go like that. Here's the actual one on this side. See how it goes that way? So I just colored the background. I colored them with my Copics. And then another thing I did was I took the stamp. I wanted some smaller ones. So once I colored these ones up, then I ran it through my photocopier and shrunk them down. And just, there must have been a hair on my photocopier because there's a little hair here. You probably can't see it on video, but I can see it. And so I'm going to do some white splatters on here before I attach anything else. And then I have my saying that I came up with one evening, like I usually do in the middle of the night. So I'm going to do some white splatters on here, and maybe even some modeling paste just to give it some more dimension. And hopefully I'll be back. My friends should be coming any minute now, so hopefully I'll come back with different stages. So I use the paintbrush here to do a little bit of spackling. That's looks cool, but I want bigger ones. So I'm going to use the end of a paintbrush to get bigger white splatters on there. Okay, so I added some with my paintbrush, and then I kind of smeared one a bit because I'm impatient. So what I did was I took my one Tim Holtz brush, I think it was a collage brush, it doesn't really matter, and I just dry brushed some streaks on it, and I kind of like how that looks. So there it is so far. I don't know if I'll add any embossing paste. We'll see about that. So here is my page completely done. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I kind of wanted more splattering, but it is what it is. I'm kind of done. Every time I did a splatter, I'd let it dry, and then it's like, oh no, I think I want more splatters. And I kept going back and forth, back and forth. I actually even took one of the Tim Holtz collage brushes, and I dry brushed some of the paint here. And then I spackled some paint on, and then I, with the brush, I don't know what that technique is called when you splatter it. So I splattered it, and I dabbed it or spackled it. And these bigger ones are the ends of paint brushes, and then I even brushed a little bit on with dry brushing. So there's that. And I told you I did those with, I colored them up with my Copics. And the only thing I might do, I'm not sure, because I'm not sure how it'll work on the background, because I think it might make it bleed, but when I put these on, I used a different medium, and it had a gloss to it, or a semi-gloss to it, and can you tell here? There we go. Okay, there's gloss there, because it went over a bit, and then there's a piece over here. So at one time I was like, well, maybe I should just do the whole thing, make it all shiny, but a couple of my friends said, no, it looks good like that, just leave it. And then I thought, you know what, it might make some of the, like I know this here, I splattered with some black soot. This is on a gray paper, and then I just did some black soot, just stippled some paint on there, and I know that will totally smear if I use that, because I did a little sample piece, so maybe I'll just leave it how it is. So here is my page totally completed for the challenge that was to use a black background and space, and this is where I used the space. I used it in my wording. Most of the other ladies, they actually did like a space theme, like planets and the sky, whereas mine, I just used the word space. So thank you again everybody for watching, and I hope you all have a very creative day today. Bye now.